Is it just me, or is some gross-ish starting to spread around the country?
Who's watching? Tell me who's watching? Who's watching me?
What is good? What is happening? What is BEA, beautiful ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, JLW, and I want to thank you all so much for joining me for episode 67 of Stand On Business. I don't even have the same energy that I normally have when it comes to these episodes that I love doing, because this one is bothering me. I'm going to read y'all some articles and play y'all some videos, and I just want y'all to tell me what the common thread is.
What gentleman will be at the new pad with you and Raven Simone?
No one.
I'm just talking about, like parties.
No, I don't have
get-togethers.
a boyfriend.
She's single, but looking.
But I'm illegal for people that are old.
Well, some men like them young. We ain't gonna mention no names, but, I'm one of them.
This one comes from the Daily Beast. Title of the article is Casino Boss Claims He Confronted Trump for Showing Up with Epstein and a 19-year-old girl. The former president of the doomed Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City said he had to confront Donald Trump in the 1980s for showing up on the casino floor with Jeffrey Epstein and a 19-year-old. Jack O'Donnell told CNN's Aaron Burnett that while the woman wasn't a minor, the casino risked a major fine or even losing its license for letting anyone under 21 inside. O'Donnell said he also warned Trump, who turned 40 in 1986, it was not going to look good if he is seen hanging out with young women. I don't even like the term young women to describe this individual. This individual still has teen at the end of her number. 19 is her age. And Epstein, who was later exposed as a pedophile.
Okay.
I'm doing great.
Yeah. This is your first Brit Awards. Are you enjoying it?
It is. It's my first time here. I'm really excited. So many people are so nice here, and I'm excited.
Can I say this? Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. That was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. What music are you listening to at the moment, Justin?
Well, I listen to a lot of different stuff. I'm really into Jessie J, actually.
Ah, well, she's here. We're going to get to see her later. Thank you so much. Look at him. Look at what a beautiful face. All right, now it's time to find out who's nominated for International Breakthrough. Vote, just do it. Don't mess around. Don't tease me, Bieber.
This next article that I'm going to read to you is from Yahoo News. Title is, Who is Gabriela Zuniga, Shannon Sharp's accuser who sued him for $50 million? Gabriela Zuniga, a woman previously known as Jane Doe in a civil lawsuit, is seeking $50 million in damages from former NFL player Shannon Sharp. The civil case claims that their relationship, which began consensually in 2023 when she was 19, turned abusive.
At the Olsen twins, Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
What are they up to?
Well, those are the two kids from Full House. Remember the two little girls from Full House?
Sure.
Well, now they're like 13, and they're pieces of ass.
Oh, yeah, I've seen pictures of it, because they still are. They have such an incredible career.
But let me say something. And normally I don't look at a 13-year-old and sexualize them. I don't. But these two are pieces of ass. They're growing up perfect.
Are they budding yet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Their boobies are out. So, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I'm not into 13-year-olds.
Well, yes, you are.
But I don't know.
You can't say you're not.
No, I'll tell you why I'm not.
On about the Olsen twins.
I don't look at them like, oh, gee, I want to have sex with them. But I look at them and I go, man, they're going to be great when they're adults.
You have an appreciation.
Okay? I have an appreciation for what's about to happen.
This next one comes from Slate. Title is, Unfortunately, I'm obsessed with Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend. What's bizarre about how much this incident has blown up is that it wasn't even news that Belichick, who is 73, had a much younger Belichick in his life. The two have attended public events together. Their Instagram official, Hudson herself, has openly referred to their preposterous origin story, which I should mention before we read this next part. She is currently 24, I believe. Keep that in mind. A few years ago, He sat next to her on a plane and autographed the book she was reading, which was a logic textbook, because she was a college student at the time. The flight ended up being a real sliding doors moment for Hudson, because not only did she meet her future boyfriend, but I also suspect she chatted with him at the expense of her studying, thereby depriving herself of the precious logical skills that might have saved her from embarrassing both of them on TV. That last part I don't care about. You know what part I'm focused on. She's currently 24. Their origin story is that a few years ago, Belichick, who would have been in his early 70s, late 60s, sat down next to her, and that's how they got to talking before ended up dating. 24, a few years ago.
Find this footage if you know where to look. A small handful of anonymous accounts have defied corporate censors and uploaded some of Stern's many disturbing comments about children that he finds sexually attractive. So here's just one example where Stern laments that the girls, in his estimation, aren't as attractive now as they were when they were 13 years old. Listen.
To speak of them individually is when they turn 18, who you want to bang first.
Yeah, it was weird. I was reading this magazine.
Yeah, Mary Kate or Ashley.
Exactly.
Well, actually, Beth was reading a magazine. She goes, hey, did you see this? And I forget what magazine it is, but it's the Olsen twins hugging each other in a photo shoot, and they go, this is Howard Stern's fantasy.
You're kidding. What magazine did this?
I don't know. I don't know. It was some magazine. And you know what, though? I don't really want to have sex with them anymore.
Me neither.
I don't know. They got kind of dwarfy looking.
Which one of them looks like a monkey?
Yeah, exactly. It's like something went wrong. Like they stopped growing or something.
They're not as hot as you thought they were going to be. No,
yeah,
no way.
It really looked for a while like when they were 13 or 14, they were going to be supermodels.
But then they stuck right there.
They kind of like didn't grow or something. It's weird, and I was counting down to their 18th birthday so we could have sex with them. But
this one's a little bit different, and it's going to be difficult to read, but I think it's important. This is about a book that was published, A Long Dark Shadow, Minor Attracted People and Their Pursuit of Dignity by Alan Walker. And we're going to read a lot more of this because this is what I was saying about there seemingly being a effort to change the narrative about one of the most disgusting, horrific crimes that we have that I thought everybody was on the same page about. First, Walker explores how people use the term pedophile and child molester interchangeably, implying that by nature those attracted to children are involved in criminal activity. In actuality, the term pedophile describes the attraction, not the behavior. Relatedly, the second misconception is that all maps are pedos. As Walker discusses, the term pedo refers to a specific age range of attraction to children who have not yet begun puberty. The attraction to children who are going through puberty is called hebephilia, and the attraction to teens adolescents is described as ephebophilia. Never heard of this. Walker emphasizes that the importance of using correct terms to better understand MAPS experiences. Perhaps most importantly, Walker discusses the misconception that stigmatizing MAPS protects children from abuse. While some believe shaming MAPS sends a message that opposes child sexual abuse, Walker explains how this belief is problematic. First, shaming someone for having an attraction to children will not extinguish the attraction. Research shows that sexual attraction to children displays similar characteristics to sexual orientation, including stability over time. Second, Walker posits that shaming MAPS may further harm children by leaving MAPS so socially isolated that their well-being and coping strategies are negatively impacted, leaving them with no recourse should they find themselves at risk of committing an offense. Before we move on to the next article, I understand that we have a need to define things and make abbreviations, and I can't be the only one that's finding it strange that we are using something that's so friendly of a descriptor to describe a sick group of people as MAPS. Like, you use that term and suddenly it strips all of the perverseness of what we're actually talking about away. Oh, that's just a map over there. No, don't worry about him. He's just a map. He's dealing with a mental condition. Like, look, I just don't understand what we're doing anymore. Why are we starting to come up with reasons why somebody would be doing this act in the first place? I haven't read the book, but in this paragraph, this idea like, hey, if they come out and they tell you that they're attracted to children, you should not shame them. Don't turn them away. it almost sounds like try to understand them. Because if you try to understand them, you're better protecting your children. What the no. First of all, get them away from your children. Secondly, whoop they ass. I don't understand how we're getting to this point now where somebody's saying something that is inherently wrong. F a law. We don't need somebody to write down in a book that liking children is a problem. It should just be in your DNA.
If I could go back and be a 4th grade kid right now with what I know, oh my God, I'd be like walking around, I'd be getting laid every fucking day.
Gross.
And
in
it would be
4th grade.
and it would be legal too because I would be a little kid.
And he's been practicing on a 4th grader now, so he knows how to do it.
No, she's 22.
She does have braces though.
I love it. I love the braces. It's hot.
Okay. Says anyways. She said she had a nice ass.
I'm not a pedophile though. All right. Jesus Christ.
Didn't really want.
I'm not attracted to fucking little kid bodies. I like fucking women body. Look, I'll say, look, a fucking 14-year-old that looks like she's 18 and like big titties and a nice.
Yeah.
Like, of course I'm attracted to that.
Ooh, yeah.
That's why this whole Chris Hansen thing. I'm like. Fuck you, man. These girls are like, they're fully developed, and they're like, talking online. I want you to fuck me.
You mean
and shit.
the girls that old men or women pretend to be to lure the pedophiles into the house?
Yeah, but they would email photos of what they look like, and the ones I saw were like, that girl's fully fucking developed woman. Yeah, like, come on, back in like, how are we that fucking like as a race? Are we that crazy? Like when we were fucking 100 years ago, it was little 13-year-old girls. If they were built like a woman, they were getting married and having kids. And now we're gonna be all precious about it. I keep using the word precious today. That's the word of the week.
This one is from Newsweek. GOP senator changes child after relative accused of sex with minor. An 18-year-old in Utah who was accused of having sex with a 13-year-old avoided jail after the laws governing sexual offenses were changed while his relative was president of the state Senate. Senate President J. Stewart Adams confided to legislators that the law relating to his relative's case should be reviewed in a large bill that was passed in 2024. He told the Salt Lake Tribune, some have suggested this change was made to benefit the case I was made aware of involving the high school senior. That is simply not true. Can we stop and start calling people out for bullshit? I am so sick of how easy it is for people to lie nowadays. How are these people still being elected? How are we still letting individuals lie to our faces so blatantly and them not being worried about losing their fucking seat? How is it that a person can look you in the face and said, yes, I have a relative that is charged with a fucking case that involves a minor, and I'm now going to change the law so that it benefits him not spending time in jail? How is this happening? While the law did not apply retroactively and the 18-year-old was not charged with the new lower-level crime created by the bill, they nonetheless avoided further jail time and were not required to register as a sex offender after the bill was passed. Mind you, 18 years old, had an attraction and interest and acted upon it with a 13-year-old child. Have you seen a 13-year-old? Do you know what? A 13-year-old child looks like a baby. But for some reason, somebody decided, I don't need a law that puts people or punishes people for being sickos. What I need is a slap on the wrist. What I need is forgiveness and understanding for an individual that I'm related to for a simple mistake, basically is what he's saying.
But Coach, you used to talk about Foxborough High School when we sucked. But now I know why you were so obsessed with Foxborough High School. You were scouting your new girlfriend.
This one is from E! News. Lil Tay says she made over $1 million within hours of creating her OnlyFans account is the title. What we need to focus in on is Lil Tay is flexing a new achievement. Days after the rapper turned 18 years old, she says she amassed over $1 million on OnlyFans within 3 hours of creating her account. Last one. This is from Complex. Bad Bobby says she made $75 million from OnlyFans. The last time, I don't even know how to say her fucking name properly, Bad Bobby shared an overall figure for her OnlyFans all-time earnings was in July 2024 when she posted a screenshot that showed $57 million in earnings. That was the net profit at the time, while the gross was sitting around $71 million. Bobby joined the platform in 2021, just over a week after she turned 18. That's it. I've showed you videos. I've showed you articles. Please, someone tell me what they think the theme of this episode is, what it is that we are talking about. You probably guessed it. There is something sick spreading through our nation right now. And it was one of those things where, like, you'd see things pop up here, for example, the Belichick thing, and go like, is something weird about a man that old dating somebody that young? When he was 50 years old, she was a baby. And I'm not talking about 13. I'm talking about a literal baby wrapped in a blanket in a crib somewhere. The thing that really kind of kicked this off to me is that when this popped up across my feed, the first thing I thought was, who the fuck is Lil Tay? And I was going to do something where me and you together, we're going to do our research on this individual. And by the end of it, I was going to hammer home the point. The reason I don't know who the hell Lil Tay is that I am 31 years old. There is no reason I should be checking up on or know anything about a girl who just turned 18. I don't care what she's doing in the world of media, of art, of music. There is nothing that somebody who just turned 18 is offering me as a 31-year-old man. And yet, for some reason, the news that we are happily spreading right now is that a girl who the previous day was 17, who the previous day was underage, who the previous day we would have went, you need to be in prison for talking to that person, is now telling the world that a bunch of grown, sick-ass men gave her over $1 million because they wanted to see something sexual about her. Is that not hinting that there is something very, very wrong, at least in our nation? And I know it's a global issue. I know that business generates billions of dollars. I'm more concerned that we are so blatantly marketing and advertising this ish. We are so loudly proclaiming that it is okay for these grown-ass men to be found out and proven to be with very, very, very young women on the border of illegal women. How is this an okay headline? How is it an okay article that we are now saying, cheers for a little girl who just turned 18 making millions of dollars off of grown-ass men staring at their feet and whatever else? I'm going to keep it PG, so we're just going to say their feet. And this is what I'm saying when it comes back to the maps thing. The fact that we are now going down the rabbit hole of let's try and diagnose and help individuals that are displaying symptoms, that are openly coming out and saying this is their sexual preference. No! There's nothing about that is a preference that is okay, that needs to be diagnosed. You need to be locked the fuck up. How is it that you can tell a parent one day, yes, we knew this individual was a MAP. We knew this individual had this condition, but don't worry, we were treating it. We were figuring out how to keep it at bay. And I'm sorry he had a relapse. I'm sorry he had a misstep. How are you going to look somebody in the face and explain to them that you knew this person was in a neighborhood, this person existed, and you allow them to continue to do normal, routine things after them telling you what their issue was because you were trying to cheat it or trying to halt it? I'm not going to sit up here and say I feel sorry for anybody that's got this condition because I think this is the grossest shit I've ever heard. And it is troubling that we can identify the indicators of somebody who likes him too young. We can identify that it's wrong for you to be anywhere in your damn 60s or 70s looking at somebody who just got into their 20s. There is an inclination that you have that is only being kept at bay because the law says you got to wait until they're 18. Something is wrong here. There's a lot of weird ish going on in the world, but this is getting too blatant.
It has been filed against popular gaming apps Roblox and Discord in connection with an alleged kidnapping. The lawsuit, which was filed in San Mateo County, cites the case of a 10-year-old girl who met a 27-year-old man who was posing on the apps as a child in April, and then after he developed a friendship with her online, she gave him the address where she lived, and he, the older man, he picked her up from her home and drove her to a hotel in Elk Grove. Officers found the 10-year-old girl in his car in a state of distress and arrested him. And this lawsuit comes as they're still searching for 16-year-old Katie Hong from Fremont. She left her home and left a note saying she was going to meet with someone whom she had only known from Discord. And here's their last surveillance shot of her as she was leaving home, carrying an entire desktop computer with her. She hasn't been seen since July 25th.
What is this arbitrary line where we go, today you're illegal, guess what? Blow out your candles, you're now legal. And then everybody rushes in. That is almost like you were waiting in the wings. There's a rapper. Wasn't there a rapper that was going to somebody's birthday parties and performing all that damn time? And then right after that person turned 18, they locked him down. And then they did an interview where they said something along the lines of, you know, I was just trying to groom him early or something. It's literally grooming. I know we're backsliding in a lot of realms, a lot of areas right now, but God, I hope that this one that across the board, there's no politics, there's no fucking animal. Very clearly, this is the line. Nobody should backslide this way. This is a weird trend. I'm just $1 million, y'all, and you waited till she turned $1 million. And let's be clear, this only goes as low as 21. Because I know there are a lot of you freaks out there that will try to bend this rule. But I've said, whatever your age is, you should be able to date 5 below, 5 above. Again, going as low as 21. So that does not mean if your ass is 22, you go, oh, well, that means I'm still good. I can get down there with a 16-year-old. No, you freaking freak. If it is 22, 21 is your lowest. If it's 25, 21 is your lowest. Everything above that, you're 26, guess what? It's 22 for you, bud. Is that right? Did I do that math right? 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. No, 21. 5 minus 26. I'm an idiot. 21. So yeah, if you're 26, I'm an idiot. Yeah. If it's 26, you're 21. If it's 27, you're 22. And then you can go up. Now, if you want to go above the 10-year max, well, that's on you. That is your business. That is your preference. And then when it comes to dating, same rule applies. I mean, when it comes to sleeping around and having fun, same rule applies. The minimum is 21. So I'm going to tell you that if you're sleeping around, 10 years down, 10 years up. I say 10 years down. That means if you were 25, you do not say, oh, that means 15 is in the cards. You need to be locked up. That means 21 is your minimum. If you are 30, 21 is your minimum. If you are 31, 21 is your minimum. If you are 32, 22 is, you see what I'm saying? It's that simple. So 5 years below or above for dating, and for sleeping around, 10 year down, 10 year up, 21 is your minimum. Anything below that, I just don't understand what you were searching for. There is no person who could look me in the eye and give me a rational explanation as to what a 20-year-old could offer them, and you're in your 30s or your late 20s. Well, I guess late 20s, that's something that y'all can figure out, but I still think that's a little weird. But there is no rational explanation for a 40-year-old saying, I'm talking to this 22-year-old. There's no rational explanation for a 50-year-old saying, I got something with this 22-year-old. There's something with this 22-year-old that I'm really, really feeling, that I'm really vibing with. There's no rational explanation for a 60-year-old to be saying, I got a lot in common with a 24-year-old, and there damn sure is nothing that anybody who is over the age of 25 can tell me that they are finding of interest of a girl who just turned 18. Nothing. You're sicko. You need to be locked up, and that's what I want to end this on. There's some sick shit going on in this world right now. People need to start calling this shit out. Shit is nasty. All you grown-ass, old-ass men that are hooking up with young 20-year-olds, you're sick too. All you individuals who are waiting for a girl to turn 18, you're fucking sickos too. And I just want more people to call it out. That's it, man. That's all I got to say. Thank you all thank you all so much for watching. I was your host, GLW. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully we got some better news in the world. Either a new movie's coming out, or somebody's doing something positive, or there's something good to be found. Because this shit right here, man, miss me with this shit. This shit is disgusting.
Well, no.